Hey everyone, welcome back to Obscure Cola. Today we've got another
Soda Hall.
So I'm in Beijing right now on another work trip, and I stopped by, actually not one, but three different convenience stores. I found all kinds of weird stuff that I'd never seen before. Definitely wanted to share it with you guys here before I do my separate videos for each one. So today we're just going to introduce them, check back for the separate taste test videos for each one. So I don't know where to begin. Let's start with the most random kind of plain one. So this is Morinda Apple, and it's green apple. I've done the Morinda watermelon and I've done the Morinda lychee. So I thought, okay, I haven't done the green apple. Let's try the green apple. So should be pretty standard apple, fake apple flavor. I've done a couple of these super neon green ones, but yeah. Can't go wrong with this, right? It's Morinda, it's a brand name. Should be easy. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's get a little bit more exotic. And here we have Chinese Pepsi Black. Except they don't call it Pepsi Black, they just call it... actually, they don't really have a name. So it just says Pepsi Cola here in Chinese on it. There's very little English on it, not none, but little English. Here it's just called Pepsi. It says, love it. And it's got obviously the Pepsi brand stuff on here. Oh, it actually says love it and live it. But the way I know that it is Pepsi Black is because it actually says intense taste, no sugar. And so I did this one in Singapore. It was a Malaysian Pepsi Black. And there it was actually called Pepsi Black, like on the labels and stuff. But it also had a completely black bottle. This one is like a normal bottle, but then it's got this weird kind of fake, like it looked like it's actually full up to here, and that's actually where the plastic ends. But in fact, the cola is there, and as you can see, it's actually not that black. So they didn't want to make the real black bottle or something. It actually looks kind of light now that I look at it. So I guess it's not Pepsi Black, it's just Pepsi, like literally on the label, you know, the price tag in the store, it said like Pepsi Wu Tang, which means basically like no sugar. So it's not diet, it's zero, I guess, whatever you want to call it. It's the black bottle Pepsi, and because it had the yellow here on the top, I was like, oh, maybe it's like lemon flavored or something like that, but I don't think so. I think it's just like totally regular, like no sugar Ace K or something. I don't know what the sweetener is. I guess I could try to resolve it. So anyway, so that's the black Pepsi, or Pepsi Black Label, Pepsi Zero Sugar, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now we get done with the simple ones. I'll just get this one out of the way. This is actually not really exotic. I probably won't do a video for it, but I've been kind of addicted to milk tea since most of the time I try to stop drinking cola besides doing these videos. And I was drinking like lemon tea, which is very popular in Hong Kong, and I switched over to drinking milk tea more and more lately. I don't know, it's got dairy, right? It should be good for you. But then I found this one that is a Chinese brand, and it's called Kang Shi Fu. It's the distributor, the company that makes it. And the label actually says Zhi Nai Cha, and this is actually the character for cheese. So I don't know if it's actually cheese, or I hope it's not cheese flavored milk tea. But anyway, I thought I would try it at least. So I might do a video for this. I might just try it just to drink it. Okay, it's starting to get a little more weird here. This is at least weird in packaging. This is not the first one of these basically plastic bottles made it on with a can top that I've done. Is it a can? Is it a bottle? I guess it's still a can technically, maybe, because you can't really screw on the top. So what makes a bottle a bottle? That's another question. Anyway, so this one is called Ginter or Glinter soft drink, and they had a bunch of flavors. They had like orange, you name it, they had everything. Orange, lychee, apple, I don't even know, I don't remember all of them. But I wanted to get this one because it's kiwi, and I don't think I've tried a kiwi drink. So it's super clear, it glinters, and it actually says here it's made in Malaysia. So anyway, it's interesting for the packaging if nothing else, and I guess it's carbonated and it's kiwi, so try kiwi. Okay, down to the next one. This one, I really don't know what it's even called. I'm sure I could figure out the name if I look on the label close enough. So even if you don't read Chinese, the best way to figure out the name, the quickest way for me at least, is if you actually look at the all the data here, and just look for the URL for the company. That's usually like at least the first part of the name. So this one is like called Longbao. Well, it says Longbao here, which is like cold bubbles, and then here it's called like Xiaomeng Tongxue. But the key thing with this is it has this kind of like comedic, cartoonish cap, and then this kind of weird picture of the kid with the tea hat on. I don't know what it is, like some kind of carbonated, cold bubbles tea. So it kind of looks like something out of a cartoon with this kind of fake cap that looks like a oversized bottle cap. So there actually is some English here on the label that I can read, and I just checked it because I didn't read it in the store. They actually had two different colors of this, so I don't know what the other one is, but this one apparently is green kumquat flavored oolong tea. So that'll be a first. So I got kiwis and I got kumquat tea, and I got milk tea with cheese, possibly Coke Zero Apple. And next up, we have Lau Shan Cola. So I saw this one just from the back, like it was like this in the case, and I'm like, okay, is that a Coke or is it a imitation Coke or what is it? Well, you can already see that there's a squared off corner here, so it's not a real Coke shape. And then I turned it around and I see that it is Lau Shan Cola, and so I didn't even see the English label. I'm just like, well, it says Cola, which means cola, and Chi Shui, which means soda, so it's some kind of Chinese no-name generic Coke knockoff, whatever, generic cola. And it has all this weird stuff on here. I don't even know what these are. I can't exactly, I'm not familiar with the characters, but they seem to be like the roots, I don't know, vanilla and something and some kind of nuts that are used in here. So I guess that's like the herbal flavors that make it Lau Shan as opposed to just Coke. So anyway, Lau Shan Cola. Actually, I'm kind of looking forward to this the most. Almost, because then I have this guy. Oh, I should, like, if I just presented it like this, you would say, oh man, you've already done Pepsi Blue. You've done it twice, actually. And in fact, when I saw the bottle, I'm like, oh, it's Pepsi Blue. And I actually saw it from here. And I said, oh, it's Pepsi Blue with a Chinese label. So if you watched my Pepsi Blue, my second Pepsi Blue video from here in China, I actually bought a Pepsi Blue bottle to do a review in Beijing, like, I don't know what it was, 6 months ago. And then I realized it was actually an imported Pepsi Blue bottle from Indonesia, which happens to be where I did my first Pepsi Blue video, which I'll put up here. So then I saw this and I'm like, oh, it's actually a Chinese label one, and it says blue on it, so it's some kind of like Pepsi Blue, but made specifically for the China market, which is why it looks slightly different. But actually the bottle itself looks exactly the same, except I think the one in the last time was actually darker, right? But it's still like a blue tinted bottle, right? So then I read it closer and it actually says 美国加州可乐公司 something something, right? Which basically means California USA Cola Company. So I was like, okay, I don't think Pepsi's from California. So what is it? And then I look closer and I'm like, it actually says Blue Coke, not Blue Pepsi, not Coca-Cola, not Blue Cola, but actually says Blue Coke. In other words, Coke. They stole Coke's trademark while knocking off a Pepsi product. Yeah. And it just says, in Chinese it says blue, and it says, well, it says in English blue, and it says 蓝色可乐, which literally means blue cola, but somehow that got translated to Blue Coke. So I'm curious to try this one. Does it taste like Pepsi Blue? Does it taste like knockoff Coke? Does it taste like blue knockoff Coke? And then the other thing I want to check is how blue is it actually? Because one of the things in my previous video was like this stuff, the real Pepsi Blue is like super blue. It's like you took blue food dye and just, unadulterated, just dumped it into a cola bottle. So I want to see if this is really that dark or if it's less blue. So totally looking forward to this one. Can't believe I went this long. So excited about my soda haul. This is what, my third or fourth soda haul? Fourth soda haul maybe? Who knows? Anyway, check back for that. I will be back in Hong Kong tomorrow, so I got to do all this stuff tonight and tomorrow morning because my flight's not till 1. So I'm going to do one right now, and I'll probably do the rest in the morning. Maybe, because if I come back from dinner and I'm like chowing down on this stuff, I'll be up all night. So anyway, maybe there's not that much caffeine in here. So that's it for today. I'm too talkative. I guess I get double commercials in this video. That's good. Okay, see you guys next time. Do give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Bye. Not 2, not 3, but 4, count on 4 special Heritage Edition bottles from Coca-Cola. So this is a